I hope that this video is so helpful if you are prepping for a trip, whether it is a 3-hour flight, whether it's an overnight flight to somewhere crazy far away, whether it's a cruise, maybe you're on a road trip, whatever it is, I have got something for everyone here. I've been traveling internationally, etc., a lot for the past 10 years, with and without our kids, pre-kids, post-kids, and everything in between. And I feel like I have really honed in on what it is that works really well for me, no matter the trip. And so that's what this video serves as, kind of a guide to all of the things I love. Hopefully it's helpful to you. I will have this organized by category. I, of course, will have everything linked that I mentioned. So if you're interested in checking it out, it does support me. It supports the channel. However, I will say this. When I link a lot of this, it's linked on Amazon. And with YouTube, I can only link certain things, but they don't work with Amazon. So if I'm linking Amazon items, I have to do it in my description box or in a pinned comment, and that's a little bit hard to find. So if you're scrolling through the YouTube banner of shopping and you're like, I don't see half of these things, that's why. Look in the pinned comment or description box. Okay. I also feel like I should do a shameless plug. My husband does own a travel agency, which is a big reason why we travel a lot. I mean, we love to travel first, hence eventually the travel agency, but it is called People Mover Travel. If you are wanting to use a travel agency, I'm super biased, okay, obviously, but I highly recommend them. I will link down below, free quote. They work for you for free. It is so nice, especially if you're doing a big trip and you're like not sure how to do like transfers from the airport to the wherever and tours, and they do all of that for you. So shameless plugs out of the way. Let's dive into the first category. Let's start with bags and organizers. Okay, this I feel like is the lifeblood of trip beyond the trip itself. This is, for me, where you start, right? You're packing, you're organizing, you're excited about a trip. So, and I know some of you guys watching this, that's where you're at right now, and it's so exciting. So I wanna start with the two things I travel with almost every single time, and I have for years now. First up is my carry-on, my backpack I always bring. It is from Vera Bradley. I have loved this for years now. I'm pretty sure it's still sold. I will find it somewhere for you. They have two different sizes. The XL size, I own both, okay? The XL size is only a little bit bigger, so I don't really think you need both. Like, I really don't need both, but I love them. So many organizers. It is so well made. It's easy to wipe clean. I think it's pretty to look at, but it's really, really useful. And like I said, it has lasted through some pretty wild trips that we've taken. So I love this bag for that. And yeah, I cannot recommend it highly enough. I've been singing its praises for years. The other one is our suitcase. So ours are from Base. Very pricey. Okay, you do not have to get a pricey suitcase to enjoy your trip, but we invested in them, and I'm glad we did, because we had an issue where one of the things ripped on the inside. Contacted Base. They sent a brand new one. Like, I had to just send some pictures. I love that level of customer service where they trust the consumer and they just say, okay, no problem, let us fix it. Sometimes with companies like that, you have to like send the bag in and then wait a few months, and it's really hard if you've got a trip coming up and you're like, well, I don't want to send this in before then because I might not get it back. And I loved their customer service. So I'm now a Base suitcase lover for life. Love them. So we have the 26-inch checked bags, and then we also have the carry-on size. Amazing. It is just one of those suitcases that is very clearly thought out by a traveler, someone that actually uses these. And I just feel like the features in it are amazing. The organization is amazing. And I also love that if you turn it sideways, you can lift it and it will tell you if it's over 50 pounds, the little thing will turn red. So you have an idea of where you are weight-wise. I'm gonna talk about my favorite luggage scale too here in a bit. So those are like my main two things. If I'm traveling, I'm bringing my 26-inch suitcase and that carry-on, most likely. The next big bag that I feel like most of us use is a toiletry bag. So I have two to recommend to you. One of them, if you've been around a while, you already know of. It's also from Vera Bradley. It's so funny. Like, why do I have so much from Vera Bradley? I don't know. But I do. Anyway, it's this one. So I know this color is out of stock, but they still have the black in stock on Amazon, and it's much cheaper than it was when I bought it. So if you're interested, snag it up. Snag it up, because I don't know if they still make these. I love it. It is so well thought out. It's got all these different organizers. Then there's the main compartment that you can hold everything in. This is like half packed, half not. But anyway, and then there's this front area that you can put your makeup brushes in if you want. I currently randomly have like contacts and a scrunchie, but like I said, it's like half unpacked. But I just love it. There's this area in the back as well. And it's definitely one that is a countertop bag. Like, you're not necessarily going to hang it up. You can, and I have, by this, like I'll open it and then just have it hanging like this. So it still works. Like, if there's no countertop, there have been a couple places we've stayed where there really isn't much countertop, But if you prefer a hanging bag, the other one I loved for years before I just fell in love with this one is one from Amazon, even less expensive, so spacious. You guys, you will be shocked. Shocked, I tell you, at how much you can fit in there. I was fitting full size, like shampoos, conditioner. It's incredible, and it's hanging. There's tons of organization. You will not run out of room. And if you find that you're someone that you end up with tons of little bags of things, you might just commit to one like that where all of it can fit. It is really nice. And then you can zip it up, stick it in your bag, and it's all together versus like 16 little different bags. I know. Sometimes I still travel like that too. This one I left at home accidentally, but this is one of my favorite discoveries, especially if you're traveling with a group, especially kids. This is a passport / airline ticket / whatever you want it to be organizer. It's that RFID safe where, you know, whatever it is, which is great. But I love that you can hold all the passports together. For the longest time, I would like put them in a Ziploc, you know what I mean? So that they don't get wet, which sure, but it's just kind of nice to have something that is meant to hold all that. It's meant to hold the tickets. I'll put our claim tickets for when we check our bags in there. It's all in one spot. So when things get put away, I know where I put them away versus for a while, I felt like I'd be like, oh, I'm going to remember that I put it in this pocket. And then I'm like, crap, where did I put it? And then we're struggling to find it really quickly through security. Have a bag for it. It's designated for it and you will always know where it is. And quite frankly, I bought it once. I'll be able to use that one for the rest of my life. Like there's no reason to ever need a new one. At the same time that I discovered that, I discovered this bag. This looks very similar to that. And you could probably use it in the same way, but this is my organizer on the airplane. So in this, I'm able to fit my Kindle. I fit wired headphones if I want them. You know, sometimes you need. So I have wired headphones that just live in there. I have a pencil. I have Sudoku. I printed online, like this was for like a long flight. Sudoku and some crosswords and things like that with the answer key, because, you know. Anyway, I also have my AirFly, which I'll talk about what that is here in a bit. But yeah, with my Kindle, you could have paper, whatever. I love the idea of having it all together. I usually would take my AirPods as well and have them in there because, especially with kids, I've got their bags and I'm trying to help get them snacks and their toys and their coloring stuff. It's nice too, when we first sit down, I can just pull this out, put it in the seat back pocket, and I know where basically everything I need for the flight is versus having them all separate in the nasty seat back pocket. Anyway. I love this. This has been such a like simple game changer for me and made the airplane experience that much nicer. It makes it so that I know where everything is. Love it. I told you this one's gonna be a long one, okay? I have so much to say about so much stuff. I had a lot of fun prepping and planning this video, I have to say. Another thing we always bring with us, no matter where we're going, is this packable duffel. It folds down really, really small. It's very lightweight, so it's not really taking up a bunch of space or weight in your luggage. But we'll bring it folded down and empty in our suitcase. And this is amazing because if you buy a bunch of souvenirs or whatever it is that you're wanting to come home with, what we'll do is take this duffel and stuff it with clothes. So that way, when we check it under the plane, we're not worried about anything in there breaking. And then we can put the other stuff we're trying to bring home in the open space that we now have in one of our suitcases. So depending on what it is, obviously, we're not putting our precious coffee mugs we buy in there. Those are being carried on with us. But again, it's such a simple thing that you buy once in your life and you will end up using it all the time. And it's just nice to have the availability of it. And there are just a million other things you may use that for as well. I'm gonna mention this one, but with a caveat. This is an amazing electronic / charger organizer. It's from Calpac. I think they still sell this exact one, and it is very, I mean, it's got all the space you could ever need for your chargers, your bricks, all of that stuff. And I'm now seeing I have a charger in here. Another zipper pocket inside. It's got these extra pockets here, there, they're separated. My gripe is I have realized I don't bring that many chargers anymore. A lot of mine use the same like USB-C. And so I used to want every single thing that I pack to have its own charger. And I've realized I don't really operate that way at home. And so I don't really need to operate that way there. If I've got a USB-C and I'm like, oh, I need to charge this, I just take whatever was plugged into it and just plug it in, charge it for a few hours, and then switch it back. That's just the way I operate. So you know yourself better than anyone, but if you're bringing a bunch of chargers or maybe you've got like an external hard drive that you're bringing, this is great to hold all of that. And it really is really well made. They had a lot of different patterns when I originally bought it. So I bring it up because I do think it's incredibly useful. You might not need this much space, I guess is my point. I really haven't found, I need like half the space. So I need to look and see if anyone sells. Like I just basically use a smaller makeup bag and stick what I need in there, and it's just all crazy in there. So I would like to have a little bit more organization with that, but yeah, this one is just a little too big for me. Oh, these are newer babies to my collection, okay? First of all, this is just cute. Do you need this? No, you really don't. But might you want it? Maybe. This cute little meds bag. It was very inexpensive on Amazon. I love it. Kind of upgraded the old one I had that was looking a little crusty, a little. But the biggest thing in here, so first of all, what I keep in here, if you're just curious, I usually have some liquid IVs, that kind of thing, or like emergencies. I have Tums in here. I've got Dramamine for kids. I've got basically a collection of Band-Aids and like little Neosporin packets, different sizes. I have moleskin, which we'll talk about in a second. But I also have this, and this is the second thing, the second part of this that's new to me. The amount of medicine that you can fit in this little thing is insane. It doesn't even make sense to me physically, you know what I mean? But I think one of my melatonins must have like cracked in there. It comes with tons of little stickers, and you can pick which one is the most appropriate. I will say there were a couple that I was like, it's not exactly what it is, it's basically what it is. So I'd put it on there just so I knew. I even have an open spot. Some are bigger than others, but yeah, they fit in there like that. And then you don't have to worry about this coming open in your bag because you can shut it that way. It is tiny. I mean, you can see. So this is so much smaller than the one I was using was like this big. And I feel like it fit less stuff. So this is incredible. You don't need the whole bag. You could just have this, but I've got kids. It's just nice to have it all. And I end up stuffing this with a couple more things too. But yeah, love it. Oh, I also have a thermometer. I feel like, again, with kids, it's nice to have a thermometer. Many of you guys that have been around here know I love makeup and beauty and skincare. And so I definitely have a few recommendations for packing those. So one is this brush bag. It is crazy well made. Like it's super well made, really kind of firm. And it fits, again, way more brushes than you would think. I looked at this when I ordered it and I'm like, oh man, it doesn't look long enough. And I grabbed my longest handle. Here we go. This is my longest brush. Fits in there, no problem. I mean, it is right to the tip, but again, that is my longest one. All the rest of mine are like ever so slightly shorter. I would say more of a normal, and it fits in there just fine. So you would be shocked. I'm gonna grab a bunch of my brushes. This is probably even more than I would ever travel with. And just to show you, they all fit. And then you can zip it up. I've even managed to squeeze my like beauty blender in there. It is incredible. So highly recommend this if you'd like to travel with more than a couple makeup brushes. It's just nice to have them separate. I think I did stuff a little too many. It got stuck on one of the bristles. There we go. I've loved that. I've loved traveling with that lately. And then a makeup bag I've really enjoyed the past few times is this one. I need to wipe it down, so no judgment here. It has two compartments, the bigger main one and then the smaller top one. I will say the smaller top one is meant for brushes, but I end up using it just for more makeup. So I'll put in this thinner part all my like eyeliner, mascara, things that are kind of thinner, that can all be there, easy to access. And then in the thicker one, that's where I'm putting my foundation, sunscreen, maybe an eyeshadow palette, things like that are a little bit thicker, blush. It works really well. I feel like makeup bags, they're so personal. Like some people like more of a train case shape. I feel like I switch it up all the time. That's where I do vary it. This is just the current one I've used a lot, so I figured I would mention it. And bonus point since it does have a little bit more organization. Also, I'm drawn to the clear bags lately. I think that's cute. I don't have it with me, but another thing I love is this makeup sponge holder. It's like a couple bucks. It holds any shape makeup sponge you have, and it's great because it's got holes in it so it can still breathe, but it's flexible. I've had some of those like hard cases for that, and I feel like they usually break because I'm trying to squish that thing in wherever I can. So I like that it's that flexible silicone, easier to clean too. And then a little shout out for a snack bag. You may think this might only be for kids, except for, first of all, it's just cute. This is so nice. Like if you're going on a long flight and you're bringing snacks with you, it is so nice to have a dedicated little bag for that. So when you're all snacky, you can pull it out, everyone can kind of pick, it's see-through so you can see it. You can fit a lot in it, but it also has a handle so you can carry it separate if you need. It's just nice to have a separate little bag for it. You could also just use a Ziploc, okay? You don't need to buy a bag, but having something to kind of hold all of that together and wrangle it so you don't have like granola bars here and then like applesauce pouches there. It's nice to have it all wrangled. Again, you could use a gallon-sized Ziploc for that too. I find that I use the snack bag though now all the time, even in regular life. Like we're going to the zoo, I'm packing the snack bag. Let's go into what I'm calling the on the plane category. These are things you're gonna use on the flight. You probably won't use elsewhere, but depending on how long your flight is, it may be worth bringing. So, use your own discretion. But I gotta start with my number one favorite, okay? New discovery. Cannot believe it took us this long to try this. This is what's called a bev ledge, okay? It is pretty thin and small. It's not heavy, so it doesn't, you're sliding it into somewhere. You're not even gonna notice it's in there. But if you are, gonna get a ginger ale or a coffee or whatever on the flight, maybe a wine, especially if you have kids, ask me how many times my drink has been kicked over onto me by a baby and or toddler and or kid. Almost every flight. Almost every flight. So this is such a welcome invention. So literally, I'll show you a picture of, we used it on a recent trip to a Disney cruise. It goes into the window, super easy to use. It also has a little spot where you could hang like wired earphones, you could hang your glasses or sunglasses, a pen, like in the middle, you can put your phone in there. So it's out of the way. You don't have to have your tray tables up or down. It is just one of those simple game changers. So when I posted this on my Instagram a while back, the amount of you guys that bought this was hilarious. Like, it was astounding because I get it. Like, this is solving a problem so many of us have on airplanes. So love the bev ledge, big fan. Another favorite is this drink holder. I ordered it, used it, and now can't find it. So I'm wondering if I accidentally left it on the cruise because we didn't have it on the way home. I was like, man, this is one that actually will hook onto your tray table. But again, it kind of holds the drink there versus having to have it on the table and blah, blah, blah. I really like it. I like the bev ledge better, but sometimes you're not by the window or someone with you is not by the window, so it doesn't really work. So it's nice to have both options. And again, typically where you're gonna sit, like if it's one where you pick your seat, so you'd know which one to bring accordingly, or just bring both because the other one is also really small and weighs nothing. Let's talk travel pillows. Let me start with, I've tried all of them. All of them. I really think there is no perfect travel pillow, so you almost have to accept that off the bat. You are not going to get some amazing 8-hour night's sleep without a sore neck, sitting up or reclining ever so slightly on an airplane for 8 hours. You're just not. So I think going in with a healthy mindset of, if I get a couple of hours here or there, that's good enough. It's gonna have to be good enough because that's all you're gonna get. Now, out of all the ones I've tried, this is the one that works the best for me. But again, I'm still saying I'm getting maybe a max of 2 hours of sleep, not 6 to 8. Okay, it's not magic. It's from the brand Cabot. And I like that it folds up small in this thing, and then you can hook this onto your suitcase or your bag or whatever, so you don't have to have it taking up room in the bag. You can just kind of have it dangling out of the way. If it's a under 4-hour flight, I'm not bringing a pillow. But over that, I would say over 6 hours, I bring it. So it goes around your neck like many do. But I think for me, the game changer is this, because you're bobbing around and it's inching up toward, so with this, you can tighten it as tight or not as tight as you want. And then you also can strap it to the seat behind you. And I know that sounds insane, but the biggest thing that wakes you up when you're trying to sleep on an airplane is doing this, right? And so with this, it's holding you hostage. And so you're not falling forward and you're not falling sideways. So it kind of holds you in place. Now, is it wildly comfortable? No, like I said, the pillow itself is, but I will say I'm a little claustrophobic. And the first time I put it on, I was like, I don't know, but I did end up getting a few hours sleep. So there you go. That's my 2 cents on this. Like I said, you just got to have a healthy perspective on the lack of sleep that you will get on an airplane. We have a longer trip, God willing. We may be going on towards the end of the summer, and I will be bringing this for sure. Another thing is a leg or foot sling. This takes up, again, it weighs nothing. It takes up no room because you can really squish it down small. This was the game changer. If I didn't have the pillow, okay. This was incredible. If you are trying to sleep and your legs are not quite, you can't get them. Oh my gosh, the sling, you guys. So you just hook it onto the back of the tray table. You put the tray table down, hook this over it, and then put the tray table back up. And then you've got this sling you can adjust to the height you need. And just putting your feet in it and being able to kind of push against it. I think that's really the reason I was able to get any sleep the last time we did this. So absolutely amazing. This is such a must-have for me. This is like, if it's over 4 hours, I'm probably bringing this. Because again, doesn't take up much room, doesn't weigh anything, and really is incredible. I think I got this in a 2-pack and gave one to my husband, so he's got it too. I don't know that he uses it as much. I think because he's taller, he's able to like push into the floor better, but like if I'm leaning back, my legs are like weirdly not, I don't know. You know what I mean? Another favorite, if you are doing a longer flight or you just want a comfy blanket, is this blanket. It zips completely shut, so it's not just like willy-nilly everywhere. And it also has like this basically trolley sleeve, so you can just slide it onto your suitcase if you want, whatever. You also could hang it off of your bag if you didn't have space inside your bag. And it is, I wish you guys could feel it. It is so, so soft. It's a decent size. And yeah, this is one you also could use as a pillow. I think what I ended up doing is using the blanket they provided and then having the pillow around. And then I also had this there to like, I tried a lot of things. Anyway, love that it kind of doubles as both as well. Can we talk about compression socks? I don't care how old it may make me sound. I know 2 people in my family that have had blood clots, both from travel. I don't mess around with it. I really don't. I always have aspirin and baby aspirin with me. I take a baby aspirin before every flight. It's what my doctor has told me to do. It's what I do. And compression socks. So here's what I've discovered works for me so that I don't, I mean, you know, you're like, I don't want to walk around in compression socks, but sometimes like, you know, this is a time where I do think it's necessary for many people, or it's at least a good idea. So first of all, I found this pack on Amazon. They have been great. I usually just bring 1, maybe 2. But typically we'll do some laundry like halfway through a longer trip. And so then I'll just have these clean for the flight home. What I do though is I don't wear them through the airport and stuff like that. I will typically put them on right before we get on the plane, like take a second, go to the bathroom and change. Or I'll do it in the bathroom on the airplane once I'm on there and we're kind of settled and we can, you know what I mean? That way I don't feel, I know that sounds really vain, but you know, sometimes depending on what you're wearing, you're like, I don't really want to. So these are amazing. Highly recommend them. And then you can feel safe knowing it's helping prevent blood clots, which are very, very scary. Very scary. Okay, another fave. Are you guys still there? Is this magnetic phone holder. So we've tried different iterations of this type of thing, but this one is the strongest and the most compact. So it is very, very small. It hooks onto your tray table. I will say you got to use some force to like get this open, if that makes sense. Now I'm forgetting how to do it. I usually make Tyler do it. Oh, there we go. You do have to use some force to open it wide enough. But once you get it on there, you can shut the tray table. It's gonna stay up there. So what I did last time is I'm like holding my toddler and I had this on there. So I was able to like watch something or like she could watch something while I'm holding her. It's out of the way. It's very strong magnet. So amazing, not just for this, but you could put this on a shopping cart, like lots of different uses for it. Okay, so those are all my things on the plane. Next category, let's talk clothing and accessories. I'm not going through actual outfits or like specific shirts, pants, but I do have a few specific things that I think are appropriate for most or many trips that I want to mention have worked really well for the past few years for me. If you are walking around like in a dress or very short shorts for a long time, you're gonna have some uncomfortable sensations in your thighs, okay? And, you know, I've used like the sticks you can use and I think those are great, but you know what's even better? If you're wearing a dress specifically, okay, is having bicycle shorts that are super comfy underneath the dress. They have different inseams, so if you need them to be shorter, because maybe your dress is shorter, I don't know. But it's also great too, because if it's a windy day, like so many times when we've traveled, it's windy, it's windier than I thought it would be. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my dress is gonna be flying up. I'm gonna be thinking about it all day long, worried about it. If you've got shorts on underneath, you're not really gonna care because you're like, whatever. So I've got black, I've got beige, I've got light pink because I figure the beige and light pink aren't as obvious if it's like a white dress or a lighter. But then the black, I love. Amazon, I have a favorite brand on Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive. I can link below. That's what these are. And these also have pockets. So you could like have your phone there under your dress, but then you're not dealing with any chafing, baby. It is amazing. I have not traveled the past few years without a couple of pairs of these. Love them. I also never travel anywhere without a pair of like slipper socks. So I bought this pack, I think it was like a 2-pack on Amazon, and I love these because again, they just wash and dry in the washer really easily and they're comfy. They again don't take up a ton of room. They're pliable like socks. Hotel room floors are disgusting. Okay, disgusting. We've had some incidences with some things and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wear these, plus my feet are way more comfortable that way. I love them. Again, they don't take up much room and they can be a game changer. Way more comfy in the hotel room. Okay, this is highly specific and I just washed it and I need to like redo it. But this baseball cap, first of all, is like the perfect baseball cap. I got it on Amazon as well. It is wonderful when you, first of all, it doesn't take up much room in your suitcase, right? I got it in a very neutral color because it would match any outfit. This is perfect for those days where either you didn't have enough time to get ready and you're like, my hair looks crazy. Or maybe it's a rainy day and you're like, my hair, if I do my hair, it's gonna look crazy. I'm just gonna wear a hat. Or maybe it's a wildly sunny day and you're doing a tour. All of these instances have occurred multiple times for us on trips. And this has generally been the kind of thing I have grabbed for. I love this hat. I have it in 2 different colors. But yeah, I like bringing a neutral one because then, like I said, it just matches everything and it's so nice to have. Oftentimes, I will just throw this in our day bag or diaper bag, whatever we have with us. There was one time we were in Greece and the sun was so hot. You could feel your scalp burning. Like it was so hot. So it was so nice to have hats for everyone, including myself, to be able to put on while we were waiting in this long, long line to do this like cable car down. So I think we waited in that line for like 2.5 hours. Very thankful for hats in that moment. So speaking of hats, another one that I love that is on Amazon and it is very foldable, but it keeps its shape beautifully, is this one. It is so cute. I love the little bow detail. It can roll up when you're packing, but I love that it has the open thing. I used to be like, oh, does it look kind of old lady-ish? No, and guess what? We were on Disney's private island recently and everyone, many people much younger than me, everyone was wearing this kind of hat. So it's like, it's sun protected there. You can kind of pull your hair up in a bun. My biggest complaint about regular hats is oftentimes, like I can't have my hair up and off my neck because I've got to put the hat on. So then I have it like in a low bun, but then that drives me nuts if I'm laying back. This solves all of those problems. So love this. And I love how small it will fold too. It just Velcros, by the way, if you're curious. And it's a really strong Velcro, so it's not going anywhere. A lot of times when you travel, you're doing a lot of walking. Highly recommend the Kiva sandals. I have these that I brought on multiple trips recently, internationally, and they're incredible. They're the kind of shoe that like you don't need to break in, and they have so much, it feels like a tennis shoe almost on the bottom. I got a color that just matches everything. I always say they look cuter on than you probably think. I am interested in getting like a lighter, like white color, and they also have thinner strapped ones. So if I do end up buying those, I will let you know. I'll show them in a future video or Instagram story. But yeah, absolutely love these. These are like their original sandals. They have tons of different colors. Black, by the way, is really cute and really matches everything too. So I feel like that's a great option. And then some kind of sling bag. I feel like trying to carry around like a regular purse while touring something is a lot. Like I feel like it's always falling off. It's driving me nuts. So having a bag that's crossbody, I know most of us are wearing crossbody bags all the time anyway. I really like this one from Quince. It is spacious enough. I also have one I have loved for years. That's the one I brought to Egypt with me, is from Uniqlo. Very inexpensive. It's similar, but it's more of like a canvasy feeling. Lots of different colors, very spacious, but a very small footprint, but still incredibly spacious. So love those. I have another much smaller one that would just carry like some cards, my key, and my phone, and a lip balm from Dagny Dover that I've used for years. It's my go-to when we like go to the zoo or something, just to have all my person. So that one, if you want something smaller, I love. Highly recommend. Whew, I'm sweating. We've got more to cover, but I wanted to take a minute to say, hi, I'm Jessica. I feel like I'm not very good at remembering to introduce myself. If you are new and you're just planning for a trip and you stumbled upon this video, I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please give it a thumbs up, comment below. What are the items you swear by for travel, or maybe one that you recently bought you're excited to try? And of course, I hope you subscribe here to my channel. I do vlogs every single week. Yeah, anyway, okay, let's keep going. So next up is electronics. So my go-to thing that I use almost every single day on a trip is a wireless charger. Our good friend Ben is the one that introduced me to this specific one. He always jokes that he's like, is that my affiliate link you're using? Like, you don't have one. Anyway, the reason I fell in love, I watched him using it, I'm like, whoa, send me that link, is because it has a digital screen. I don't know if that's showing, I don't know that it is, that tells you the battery percentage left on this guy. And that's amazing because the one I had before was great, but I never knew, like, is it charged, or you know what I mean? So as I'm putting it, it's a wireless one, so you can charge your phone like this. You can also put a cord in there and charge it that way. So you can charge other things too. I recently was charging my Kindle with this because I just had the USB plugged in, and then, you know, so you can technically charge anything that uses USB-C or USB. I love that. Easy to charge. I feel like you can charge multiple things with one full 100% charge. So highly recommend. They have different colors. And the other thing is it's got a little stand. So if you wanted to watch something on it or have it, works for that too. So if you are traveling internationally or on a cruise, okay, you might need some kind of converter or adapter. So there is a difference. I learned that the hard way years ago and I never forgot. So an adapter is what most of the things you're gonna see online are. This one can turn, like this is the kind of plug I need, right? I can do any of these different continents or countries, works really, really well. And then, you know, you literally push it out and then I can plug that into the wall. I can plug an Edison plug, but I also can do a USB-C and USB. Quite frankly, I need to get a new one eventually that has more USB-C than USB because I feel like that's what I end up needing now more than anything. So that's an adapter. Now, some of these, and you have to look very closely, also are converters. And that is for things that you would need to convert the voltage. So things like a hair dryer, because either it won't work when you plug it in or it'll blow like the fuse or whatever the actual technological term for that would be, which is what has happened to me. And it like ruined my actual thing. I think it was maybe a hot tool I was using, something like that. Definitely, if you think you're gonna need a converter, make sure you get one that's a converter, and then you can also have an adapter for everything else. Like you're gonna be able to charge your laptop, your camera batteries, your phone with just an adapter. It's just those like weird voltage, like high voltage things like a blow dryer. So look into it. It's not that hard to figure out what you need, but definitely do a little research. I've grown to like simpler ones like this as well. If I know where I'm going, like EU, that's got a couple USB and then like a regular plug. So I usually have a mix of them because we end up needing them for various things, especially with the kids. So I'll link some of my faves below. So another recommendation is a foldable wireless charger. If your phone can charge wirelessly, especially if you have like an Apple Watch or AirPods, like for me, I'm charging those things. And so with that, I can unfold it, just have it on the nightstand at the hotel or whatever, and be able to charge all three of those things at the same time. It's just such a simple, easy thing. And because it folds up, it's really, really small too. Highly recommend a Kindle or an e-reader. If you love to read books like I do, it just takes up so much less space when you travel. Honestly, that was the reason I first tried a Kindle, because I would much prefer to read a regular book. Every once in a while when I travel, I'll buy a book and I'm like, now it's getting all messed up in my bag. I can only read it during the day because I don't have a nightlight at night, and it just takes up more space. So a Kindle, you can hold tons of books in there and it takes up virtually no space at all, and you can read it any time of day. Airplane, night at the hotel, whatever. I also recommend the AirFly. So that's what I wanted to show you. This makes it so that you can hook your wireless headphones to an airplane screen. So you literally plug it into the aux part of the screen, just like where you'd plug your headphones in, and then you can connect to your Bluetooth headphones via this. I definitely recommend get it set up and know how it works before you go. If you're gonna do this, you can actually hook it up to 2 sets of headphones, at least this version I have. So it's really cool if like me and Tyler wanted to watch the same movie at the same time on one of our screens, we could, which I just think is cool. And then a tripod or a selfie stick that folds up really small. There's one on Amazon that I absolutely love, that if I'm gonna bring a tripod that holds like my phone, this is the one I'm bringing. It doesn't take up a lot of room. It can get surprisingly tall, and it also could be used as a selfie stick. So it works for so many different things. And again, it just doesn't take up a lot of room. Okay, final category. I know, can you believe it? We made it. Miscellaneous. Woohoo! First of all, moleskin. So I did mention that. I always have it, although I was watching my buddy, Pixie Dusted Mom, and she mentions how she has it pre-cut, and I was like, wait, that's genius, because it comes in a roll, and if you don't know what it is, it sounds really weird, I know. Where is it? Where's mine? It was in the medicine bag, I forgot. I used to keep it in my thing. So, comes in a roll. You buy it once, you're gonna have it for the rest of your life, okay? This is all that's left of ours, though, I'm now seeing. So she cuts it into ready-to-go kind of strips, almost like a Band-Aid shape. These are it for if you have a blister and you are going to get a blister on a trip. Like, it's just, your kid might, you might. These are amazing. They're like really soft, they're a little bit thicker, and they don't move. So when you put them on, they're really gonna stay in place, even though your shoe is gonna be rubbing against that same spot. Whereas, you know, when you do a Band-Aid and oftentimes it starts to come off or it's just not totally covering it, moleskin, baby. It is incredible. It has saved us on some trips, so I never travel without it. Another fave is this luggage scale. We got this one very recently and we've loved it. It's just like the one we used to have. The old one just stopped working. You can do different units of measurements and it seems to be incredibly accurate, especially when we've compared it against, we were flying Spirit recently and you know, like they've got that threshold. So we're like sweating. And it was accurate. So I was thankful for that. That's all I want in a luggage scale. And then of course it's small. So we always bring it with us somewhere in one of our suitcases so that we have it when we're repacking to go back. A pop-up hamper. If you are staying in a place where you know you might do laundry or you want to be able to collect your dirty laundry, whatever, this is something we use almost every single trip in some capacity. And it's, again, weighs nothing. It's really, really small, but then it pops up into this decently strong hamper, decently sized with handles. I will say I'm already seeing a little bit of a rip. We had this thing stuffed the past couple trips. We've replaced it once after using it for like 5 years. So I figure we get 4 to 5 years out of it and then it's just time to replace because it's just not gonna last forever if you're stuffing it the way we were and then dragging it to the laundry room of the hotel. So absolutely recommend it, especially if you're doing a longer stay and you know you might be doing some laundry. This one I forgot to bring, which I can't believe I forgot it, but it is a misting fan. Okay, I found a favorite and this one is amazing because you can attach it technically to, it's got like a little thing you could attach it to like a stroller handle or something. So if you're walking, it's not great for that. It really is meant to be handheld. And that is where it shines because if you are in a place like touring somewhere or you're doing a walking tour and you're in the hot sun, having a fan is a game changer, but having one that mists cool water on you at the same time, otherwise you're blowing hot air on yourself and it helps a little. But when you add in some water that feels cool, it keeps you cool, you guys. It is such a game changer. We've used it during hot summer trips to Disney World. And those, if you've been to Disney World in the summer, you know it is not a joke. Like it's just so hot. Those we go with every time. The kids use them, we use them. They're amazing. So if you're going anywhere where it's gonna be pretty hot, I think you should bring one and you can thank me later. That's it. That's all of it. I am sure I forgot something here or there that I'll be like, oh man, I can't believe I forgot to mention it. But again, I have even more of my travel favorites beyond these in my Amazon storefront link I'll have below. If you did enjoy the video, I hope you'll like it. I hope you'll comment below with where are you traveling next? Do you have any plans? Maybe it's 2 years from now that you're planning something out. I want to know what it is. I want to know where you're going. I just love the excitement in prepping for a trip and planning a trip. There's nothing like it. And I hope that this video was helpful and enjoyable to you. And subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to my channel. I would love to have you join our internet fam. Like I said, I vlog here all the time. If you're interested in our travel vlogs, those are always over on my husband's channel, which I can link below. His name is Tyler Braun. Yeah, thank you guys for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, friends.